New Mexico is a beautiful and unique state. Our buttes, our rivers, our mountains, they're a national treasure. Our first speaker believes that how we think about this state, this place, the land we inhabit, is due for an update. She's an instructor of geography here at CNM. Please give a warm CNM Talks welcome to Molly Blumhoefer.
Hi, CNM. So, how do we have happy, healthy communities? I'll tell you how. We look at the place. And as a geographer, we focus on a few different things, a few different methods, and how to understand a place. But some of the primary questions we ask ourselves are what, where is it, why is it there, and who cares? Well, we study the visual landscape, right? The physical things, the mountains, the streams. But we also look at location and distribution of other aspects, such as cultural, political, and economic aspects on a landscape to completely understand that landscape. By doing this, we can give context to spatial relationships by which we create and define our communities. So, let's start with those first two questions. What is it? Where is it? It's Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's a city located in an arid environment, adjacent to North America's great deserts. We have built this place that is characterized by uneven, rocky terrain, hard-packed soils, and sparse vegetation cover on top of a slope, and then covered it in cement. Guess what? Guess what that does? It owes to the runoff of what little precipitation we get. So, 12 years ago when I moved here, I recognized these things, but I also recognized that Albuquerque is a bustling city of nearly, at that time, 500,000 people who were trying to thrive in what I viewed as an inhospitable environment. But what was more surprising was that Albuquerque had done relatively little in terms to enable this population to live sustainably, or in other words, into the future with what little resources we have. For example, I looked around and I saw people watering their lawns indiscriminately in the middle of the days. I also saw people in a very strange, misguided effort to conserve water by replacing their lawns, by replacing their plants with rocks and cement. Now, this not only repels water, but it also has the potential to absorb heat. On top of these things, Albuquerque, 12 years ago, had very little in the way of a curbside recycling program, as you can see, or, well, I can see the slides. And also a horribly inefficient transportation system. And I think most of us can agree with that. Why? That brings us to our third question. Why was this happening in Albuquerque, and why does it continue to happen in Albuquerque? Well, it's a mixture of things, including lack of financial and educational resources and lack of government-supported initiatives. And mostly this is because, like in many places, the leaders here don't understand the connections between environment, economy, and society, which means they don't completely understand sustainability. We have adopted a lot of our land management practices from other places that are unlike Albuquerque, places that are completely different, have different climates. And due to this, we have been successfully washing our landscapes straight into the sea. That's right, right along with the Rio Grande. Who cares? Do you guys care? I care. I care because this is my home. But I think the way in which we care needs to change just a little bit. This place is unlike other places. It's a harsh environment. So the impact that we have on this environment is going to be harsh as well. So those things that we need to survive, not just economically and culturally, but also physiologically, such as water, energy, and agricultural soils, will not be replenished in our lifetimes, and we're going to lose these things very, very quickly. This is a problem because we need them for healthy, functioning societies. So this brings me to another question. How do we focus on these circumstances that we've created? So we have our what, where, why, who cares, and now how do we change? Well, we need to focus on Albuquerque's uniqueness, environmental, cultural, economic uniqueness, in order to become environmental stewards and lead by example. Now, leading by example is not a new idea, but applying it in a way that is founded in geographic appropriate methods, this might be a new idea for Albuquerque. We are now just beginning to unravel the connections between economy, society, and environment. We need to do this in a way that is free from popular notions of being green that have been derived from other places. The economic piece here, we need to think outside ourselves. We need to quit depending on big business, and we need to focus on our communities. We need to put our bicycles and our environmentally friendly mugs aside and say, what's going on in our communities and what do they need? And then we need to figure out how these needs are rooted in the environment and the economy. For example, how do we get people safely and efficiently from one place to another in our city, regardless of where they are and regardless of what time of day it is? How do we get people fresh and healthy food? And we need to participate in endeavors that are already established to do this. All throughout the city, we have examples of community gardening and organic farming initiatives. Here at CNM, we have Campus is a Living Lab. This is a program that's up and running. So if you're interested in these things, composting, gardening, there are very many of us who know about these things here at CNM. So we need to prove that these initiatives don't harm the environment, but in fact, they help the environment and they help our local economies. This will help us bolster pride in our city. We have pride in our city, but we need more. And we can do this if we focus on the uniqueness of Albuquerque, our strengths, and our weaknesses so that we can live sustainably into the future. So, if we focus on environmental stewardship through the lens of geography, we will be able to create a sense of place that will draw in others to invest in our very healthy home. Thank you.